Hi everyone, welcome to Gist with Moyo Adisa. Welcome to Gist with Moyo Adisa. So Gist with Moyo Adisa is about where we can come out to share stuff, where we can gist, where we can talk about different subject matters ranging from relationship to our Christian walk and journey to how to navigate life, you know, and how to turn your dreams into actions. Yes, how to turn your dreams to actions. So welcome to Gist with Moyo. I don't even know what to call us. Should I call us the Gist Gang? Or should I call us my tribe? Or should I call us my friend? I think I'll go with my friends because I use it a lot though. When I write letters to you and I post on my social media platform, I used to write from your friend, we are Adisa. So, hi, my friends, welcome to Gist with Moyo Adisa. I'm officially welcoming you to the first, the first, the first episode of Gist with Moyo Adisa. So, this episode, I want to talk about what next after secondary school. This episode is for fresh graduates. It is for fresh graduates of secondary school. It is for people that are waiting for admission and people that are just done with school or they are not ready to go to school yet or they are waiting for admission or they are just fresh from secondary school. So this episode is for you. So I want you to listen and pay rapt attention. So what next after leaving secondary school? Do you know that the period between leaving school and going to higher institution is a very, very defining moment of your life? Yes. That period when you finish secondary school and you are trying to go into the higher institution, it is a very, very defining period of your life. And you know that what you do in that period is going to set the trajectory of your life. If you don't know, I'm telling you today. What you do in that season, that period when you finish secondary school and you are trying to go into the university, it's always for some people, like for me now, it's 3 years. I spent 3 years at home, went to higher institution. For some people it's two, so for some people it's one, for some people it's three, for some people it's four. But what you do in that period is going to set trajectory for your life. And why did I say so? Why did I say so? Okay, so I said so because I'm sorry the light is off. Let me try to increase brightness. Okay. Okay, so sorry, NEPA took the lights. I'm so sorry. So why did I say so? Let me quickly get my battery. Let me get my battery. I'm coming. Let me get my battery. NEPA's taking the lights. I'm so sorry for the delay. I went to get my battery. NEPA took the lights and so. Okay. So what you do Between that period of waiting for admission and going to school, going to higher institution, is going to set the trajectory of your life. And why did I say so? Okay, so I said so because that period is when your reproductive system is awake. Yes. And your hormones are skyrocketing. Yeah, and your body's still new to it, because that period, most people are always between the age of maybe 16, 15, 17, 18. So your productive system is awake, your hormones are skyrocketing. And in a season where you make defining decisions, your career path, you are in a season where you make defining decisions towards your career path. At that point, you're trying to see, which school do I want to go to? What course do I want to study? Which school can I get into? You know it. Because when I was waiting for admission, I wanted to do nursing. So I was looking for, which school can I go to? Which school can I get? I wanted to go to UI then. So I was making, that decision that I made then is what sets the trajectory of my life now, because I'm a registered nurse now. That decision I made then has set a trajectory for my life. And also, this period is when you have so much strength and so much energy. According to Proverbs chapter 20, verse 29, it says, the glory of the young men is in their strength, and the beauty of old men is in their gray head. So this period, there's so much strength. Your reproductive system is awake. Yes. You are in a season where you make a defining decision towards your career path. And more importantly, you have so much time. There is time. This period, there is time. Only if you want to lie to yourself, there is time. There is time. You might think that you don't have time that period. That period, for people that are just joining, I'm talking about, my topic is what next after secondary school. What next after secondary school? That period is, you're waiting for admission. Some people are going for tutorial. I went to tutorial too. I went to a tutorial. You know, you're going to tutorial. You have so much time. Oh, there is time. It's when you go to school and when you start working that you will know that those periods you had so much time. You might not know it now, but when you finish, when you gain admission and you start working, that's when you know that that time I had so much time. Yes, you have so much time. Can we hear me clearly? Can we hear me? Okay, thank you. So I said that this season, I don't know when you stopped hearing me, but let me go back to some of the points I already made. So I said anybody that is doing anything worthwhile, if someone is doing anything that is worthwhile, that it looks like they have their life together, they started in that period of waiting for admission, finishing secondary school and waiting for admission. They started that period. And that period is a very delicate season in your life. It is a very, very delicate season in your life. Everything that I do now, that period set a trajectory for me. It was like a transition. Go and ask anybody. That period of waiting for admission set a trajectory for their life. You might start something. You might not really have clarity of what you are doing. Along the way, clarity will come up. But at that point was when I knew what I wanted to do and what I wanted to do. Okay, so I said the season is so delicate, very delicate, and the devil is also aware of how delicate this season is. The devil is very, very aware of how delicate this season is, and is going to maximize it. He's really going to maximize it if you are not careful and if you don't know what you are doing. So let me share a story with you. This is a true life story. I met a lady, and when I met her, she had a child, and she was learning an handwork. I will not mention the handwork, so to put some privacy. So she was learning a work, and she was also working in a school, a primary school, and they were paying her 8,000 naira per month. Yes, you heard me. They were paying her 8,000 naira per month, and she had a child. No, I was not confused. I was surprised. So one day I asked her, I said, what happened? Why are you doing this? You have a child, you're working 8K in a primary school. When you leave your primary school, then you want to, when you learn a vocation, when she learns a vocation, she will one day. So I was confused. Then I asked her what happened. And she said something. She said everything happened that period of finishing secondary school and going into an higher institution. That's why I said this period is very, very delicate. it is very, very delicate, and devil is aware. You know, this period is where the devil will actually, the first place devil waits for you is this period. That period that you are naive, you don't know what you are doing yet, you don't have a full picture of your purpose, you are delicate, you can be easily derailed, you can be easily manipulated. And that's the period of you waiting at home for admission after secondary school. It is very delicate, and you know, the Lord laid it in my heart to talk on this topic, and that's why I'm doing this now. So she said it happened the period where she was waiting to gain admission to secondary school, and she met a guy, you know. So, you know, when you finish secondary school, you're trying to like see a job, get a job before you go into higher institution. So that guy was helping her, they were friends. He was helping her, they would write application letter to different private schools. They would go together to go and submit CV and all. So they became very close friends. And the guy happened to be a church member, a pastor. So one thing led to another, and you know, they slept with each other, and it led to her being pregnant. So when she got pregnant, when she realized that she was pregnant, you know, she didn't even know. She said she didn't know she was pregnant. That I think her elder sister found out that you're pregnant, you know. And her dad called her that, come here, are you pregnant? You're pregnant. She started crying. Okay, who made you pregnant? And she said, it's our pastor's son. And they took her to the pastor's house. You know, when they got, it's a true life story. A true life story. She told me a story. She said when they got there and they said what happened, and she was like, that she's pregnant for their son. The boy's mother, which is their pastor's wife, was like, you are a liar, you know, you are a witch, you are from the pit of hell, go back to where you came from. My son cannot do that, my son can never do that. And you know, she said to her greatest surprise, the guy also said that he doesn't know how, that she's lying. Nah, the only meet in church, and that's all, like nothing else. And she said when that happened, when they got home, her dad was sad because she doesn't have a mom. She lost her mom when she was young. So, you know, her dad said some words. You know, her dad said words like, if your mom is looking at me from heaven, will she be happy? Like, she will not be happy, that she will feel that I didn't train you well. That, you know, her dad said, I would want to say it in Yoruba, but let me say it in English for people that don't understand Yoruba language. So I'll try to translate it. So her dad said that, you know, it was their suffering, that he was thinking she was going to go into higher institution, and because she wanted to become a lawyer. So he was thinking she was going to go into higher institution and become a lawyer, and you know, he would be proud of her. She would take them out of poverty, and he would be proud of her, that she has disappointed him, that he's not proud of her, that he feels so sad. He feels like a mom in heaven watching him, that he didn't do his best as a dad to raise them well. That what can she become again now that she's pregnant? That there's really nothing to her life again. She said that day she cried. She cried so much. She cried and cried and cried and cried so much. And you know, the funny part is that she now said the guy called her to apologize to her. You know, she cried. She cried. She said that statement from her dad that, oh, I thought you were going to make me proud, and you were going to make your mom in heaven proud. I thought you were going to be a lawyer and bring us out of poverty. But now, look at you. Really, can anything come out of your life again? And she said, you know, she had to relocate. She had to leave the environment to go and stay with a distant relative, you know, so that people will not see that she's pregnant and everything. And now she's working a job of 8K per month with a child, and she's also learning an handwork. You know, she told me something. She said there's nothing more to her life again. I was crying, when she was telling me her story. I was crying. It was that sad. She said she doesn't think there's anything more to her life again, because looking at her circumstance, the family she came from, really, is there anything more to her life again? you know, she had to, her parents are not wealthy, she doesn't have a mom, she had to leave home to go and squat with a family relative, and now she has to work to feed herself and her child, and she has to learn a trade because she feels that that work cannot really sustain her. So when she learns this trade, she will be able to open a shop in the future and start selling stuffs, like, and start selling the things that she's learning. That really, can she be really, she said, can she become anything again that she doesn't think is possible? Looking at the circumstance of her life, you would agree that really she cannot become anything. I'm telling you. Because how does she want to, how does she want to do it? 8K salary, a child, and you are feeding yourself, you are feeding that child, you are learning an hard work. If you look at the circumstance of her life, you would really say there is nothing more to her life. Yes. But from God's standpoint, there is still more. I was just crying when she was telling me, so she was crying. She was crying. She said she wanted to become a lawyer. She really wanted to become a lawyer, but now she can no longer become it. She cannot. Okay, so that's why this topic is very dear to me. What next after secondary school? Hmm. What next? What are you doing with your life after secondary school? When you finish secondary school, um, it is a time that you really need to sit still and know what you are doing. Any slight mistake, any stupid decision you make is really going to affect your future. I'm telling you, it is really going to affect your future. And the devil knows that this season is very delicate and it's going to maximize it because, like I said before, you are still naive. You are still naive, one. And you can be easily manipulated. You are still naive. You can be easily manipulated. And you have not fully grasped